Let's go. Good morning. Welcome back to the pod. Matt Kim here from a special crazy episode from the middle of Bucharest, Romania, from an undisclosed location with, guys, you guys know who it is, but we got to mention it now. We have the man, get off your ass and do something difficult. What color is your Bugatti, Mr. Andrew Tate?
Good to see you, sir.
Hey, awesome. Thank you for having me. This place is amazing. I'm so glad. And I'm going to try to convince you before we start if we can use the headphones.
Why do we need headphones? I can hear you perfectly fine.
I like the idea. People think that you use headphones for hearing each other.
Yeah.
I like headphones because for the sensory deprivation that it creates.
Exactly. That's exactly what my enemies want. I've actually had a beef with headphones. People don't realize that. It's kind of funny on the internet. They say, old Tate had a beef with everything. And they're right. I guess I did. But I always had a beef with headphones. And I know we're in a pretty secure setting. But I've made many videos saying that headphones are probably the most stupid thing a man can wear. I see people wearing headphones in public.
Yes.
And they're just asking to die.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're doing. You can't hear a car. You can't hear me. I'm 6'3", 100 kilo. I can sneak up on you without trying and break your neck. So I don't know. I'm kind of anti-headphone. Maybe it's just because it's a principled thing. I know that I'm pretty safe here, but I'd have to recheck in with the security team. And I'm on bail, so I can't carry the strap. And I just feel safer if I can hear the knock at the door, you know?
So that's why we intentionally created the most secure location we could possibly find. Yeah. I like the headphones because really it helps you focus into the conversation. It blocks out the entire world. So I know that you're trying to be aware of the world around you, but the point is to block out the world so that we focus in on the conversation. Nothing else matters. And I think when I record with headphones, you kind of almost forget that the world around you exists. And it creates kind of this weird space.
I believe you, but I don't know. Unmatched perspicacity. I'll think about it. Maybe 10 or 20 minutes in, I might put them on for a little while and test it out. But I think I'll be nervous. And it's kind of crazy because I say these things and people think I'm nuts, but my life's pretty extreme now.
Yeah.
I mean, at the back of my mind, there's always who's going to knock on the door. Is it going to be the police or is it going to be the other guys? That's always on my mind all of the time. So it's kind of difficult to fully relax.
Do you feel like maybe then you're living kind of paranoid?
You're paranoid every day until you're right.
Huh.
I was called paranoid every day until I was arrested.
It's true.
I kept saying, you have 3 lives. First, they cancel you. Second, they throw you in jail on some garbage. Third, they kill you. And everyone's like, oh, yeah, you're not going to jail. Jail for what? Well, here we go. Yeah, I went to jail. And then people are stupid enough to say, well, just get a lawyer. As if the law is real. As if a lawyer can help. None of it's real. It's all made up. Every single system we live under is corrupted to the core. And if you speak too loud and you get too big, they're going to punish you.
It's crazy. I think I've been thinking about this, right? So you've said before multiple times that you think you've been canceled because you were influencing the youth.
Yep.
And you were helping them become more masculine.
Yep.
And I've marinated and thought about that a while. Like, because as you grow and I'm like watching your trajectory and what happened to you, and all of a sudden my content just went big out of nowhere. I'm like, damn, I kind of have to be considerate to that, right?
Yep.
What happened to you?
Be careful, sir. Be careful.
It could happen to me. And every day I post something, I'm like, this could literally be my last day. I think it every day.
Yep.
And I was like, why did Andrew get canceled so hard? And I've been thinking about it. And I don't think it's because you were influencing the youth. I don't think so. I think it's because you have the largest internet army in the world. And I think because the movement of people behind you, I don't think it mattered if they were masculine or not. You were also teaching them to understand how to use the internet. And I think in the training of an army, they're like, all right, this is over the line.
I agree with you. They fear the power.
Yeah.
They fear the power structure. I'm the bad employee who got a bunch. I started a union now.
Yeah.
And
You're the union rep.
I'm the union rep and they don't like me. I think in life, if you're going to be non-emotional about things, which I try my best to be, I enjoy being emotional on purpose. I will decide to be emotional in certain situations if it makes them more pleasurable. If I'm with my kids, I decide to be emotional, but I can turn it off and I look at things hyper logically. As a hyper logical man, I will sit here and say that as unfair as the Matrix has been to me, in many ways, they could have been miles worse.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. I'm going to sit here and say, considering I became the most Googled man on the planet, telling the truth and fighting against their narratives that they've been trying to enforce for a very long time. We said psyops are slow. They've been trying for a very long time to get men to a position where they're apathetic and don't want to be masculine anymore. I've come along and derailed to a degree a lot of their plans in a very short period of time. I've undone years of work in a few short months. I'm surprised I'm alive. I'm not going to lie to you right now. They could have got rid of me much easier. So they've actually been no headphones. They've actually been pretty soft on me considering what they could have done to me. And I think we talk about how it's not because I was influencing the youth to be masculine. It's masculinity they fear the most. I think that is a huge element of it. I would say that if I was teaching people how to make money and I was saying certain things, but I wasn't so strict and so large on the masculine contingent of the personality in regards to the fact you have to stand up and die for what you believe in, I don't think they would have seen me as such a threat. But I think they looked at me and thought, this guy is going to be hard to control. And I'll say it right here on this podcast, I've been offered to shut up.
Yeah, we've talked about that before.
I've been offered to shut up.
Yeah.
And many people don't understand that this is how selling your soul works, because I've tweeted before, if they ever kill me, the details on exactly how they ask me to sell my soul will be released. And that's true. But what they effectively do, I'll give you the very sanitized version. They come along with a sponsorship contract. And they come and say, look, we're going to pay you $50 million. Your official opinions are X, Y, and Z. You don't talk about this. You're going to wear these clothes and you're going to act this way. And you're going to laugh when they make certain jokes about this certain haram crap. And you're going to be this kind of little fruity idiot like all the liberals are. And you're going to get paid all this money. And if anyone asks you about these things, you're going to say this, this, and this. And we're going to protect you. Now, if I got this big telling everyone to chop their dick off and I wore a wig, I never would have gone to jail.
Yeah.
Never.
You'd be really famous.
I'd be very famous. I'd be Taylor Swift's girlfriend.
Yeah.
But here I am saying, no, you're a man and you want to be respected in your household and you want your wife to listen to you and you want to raise your kids. And they're your kids, they're not the government's. And you don't want the government to come along and force them to get transgender surgery because they got psyoped in school. And you want to have a say over the children you pay and raise. No. Mr. Tate, human trafficker.
I mean, it's one of those things where recently, over the last 6 months, they've been doing this a lot. Joe Biden will come out and tweet, we're doing this to protect our children. And every time I read that, I'm like, no, they're not our children. They're not your children. They're my children.
100%.
If anyone's going to indoctrinate my kids, it's going to be me.
100%.
It's my responsibility. And you have no say in it whatsoever. And I think that's the line for a lot of people.
I'm hoping it is.
Yeah.
I'm hoping it is because once they believe, I mean, I'll give you an example of the COVID vaccine. I know we keep going back to COVID. I know it's boring. We've all talked about it a million times, but
I think talking about COVID constantly is really important because that's the moment that a lot of people really woke up to see all the irregularities in the world, to see the lies through the mainstream media. And it's almost like you have to keep on reminding people because
they forgot.
It was only 4 years ago.
I know.
But it seems like another lifetime ago.
Yep.
You need to remind people that because 4 years now, leading into the next election cycle, if you forget what they did during COVID and how they used it and weaponized it against you, like you're not going to see it coming, which they're going to do again, maybe not through a pandemic, but they're going to do something similar this year also.
100%.
Constantly have to remind people.
100%. If you're a farmer and you have farm animals, you choose what vaccines and what injections go into that farm animal because you believe it benefits you. And that's what they did with the COVID vaccine. They saw us as nothing more than farm animals. And that's why I refused to get it. There's a lot of reasons I refused to get it. But I remember specifically saying, the government doesn't own my blood. It's my blood. The government can have my passport and my ID number or whatever. It is my blood. And if I get cut, I bleed it and I need it so I can stay alive. It doesn't belong to them. It belongs to me. And I decide what's in it. By extension, not only do they think of you as a farm animal because they get to decide what's in your bloodstream, if you have a farm animal and that farm animal has calves, they see that as their property also. The government sees you as property. You're just one of the ants in the ant farm, one of the cows on the farm, one of the robots in their big corporate machine. And your children belong to them too, in their mind. And they want your children to be good, productive members of the matrix, which means they want to psyop our kids. And that's why that's exactly why they don't want a strong man and a loving wife and a good nuclear family, because you're now competition to their psyop machine.
There's something that we talk about a lot, which is normalization of some of the things that happen around us, right? So, for example, why do they allow so much crime in the cities?
Yep.
There's crime everywhere. They can stop it if they really wanted to. All they would have to do is just start arresting people and say enough is enough, and crime would essentially not go away, but be manageable.
Yep.
Right now, they let it run rampant in most U.S. American cities. Why is that? And I think it's because they want people that live in the cities to be like, all right, there's so much crime and we don't feel safe. Please, government, can you give us more control? 100%. Please, government, can you surveil us more? Please, government, can you put cameras here? And can you do facial recognition? And can you do digital IDs? Because if they force it on you, people will push back.
Of course.
If you create a situation where you ask for it, they're like, oh, we're here to help.
You're completely right. They're normalizing these things because they're trying to remove the freedom of people and replace it with safety, because all governments have ever wanted since the dawn of human time is control of their populace. Yeah. It's what allows them to be most effective. I'm not going to even be mad at the government. If you're an ant, let's look at it from a business perspective. You have a business, I have a business, right? If I have a business, I have 110 people who work for me. If one of them didn't listen to me, I'd fire him.
Yeah.
Why would I keep him? My business is not effective if I have somebody inside of my company who has wrong think, right? They think wrong. I believe certain ideas. This is my company. And we have this one person here who disagrees with everything I say. That's annoying. I want him to go. That's fair and everybody would agree with me. Well, now you have to understand why the government hates us. The government wants everyone to comply and obey and do as it says and as it wants so it can run the government how it sees fit. I disagree with that. I am the bad employee.
Yeah.
I am the person who is annoying to them, especially someone like us, because we have a voice. Not only are we bad employees, we inspire other employees to be bad. Now everyone's listening to us going, wait, he has a point. I don't like this company anymore. I don't like how it runs. That's unfair. That's unjust. Then they want to fire us. But you can't fire us. So you have to put us in jail or teach us a lesson or sue us or take our money or slander us with the media machine. They have to punish us somehow. It's as simple as that. And it's scary. I saw a really interesting video on Twitter the other day about Alicia Keys during the Super Bowl performance. And it was someone recording the TV screen with their phone. And the first note she hit, or one of the first notes, was a sour note. She messed up the note. And then when they watched the video back on YouTube, the note was perfect.
Really?
They altered history.
Wow.
And they're saying that that's how scary it is, that if I hadn't seen this in real time with my own eyes, I wouldn't believe she'd missed that note.
Yeah.
And if I look it up on the internet, she hasn't missed a note. So as far as history is concerned, after I'm dead and this video is gone and everyone forgets in a few weeks from now, as far as history is concerned, her note was perfect. They have altered history. They alter history by controlling the information. That's only a singing note. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But wait till that applies to everything else. And it already has. Every single war you look up, the good guys, the bad guys, who did what, why, who won what war, it's all a lie. Everything's a lie. If the news we get now is a lie, imagine how big of a lie history is. Bro, you want to go down a rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Every single thing you think you know about the good guys and the bad guys in history, and it's all a lie. So it's scary. So, yeah, I mean, how do we even find a solution to these things? It's extremely difficult. But that Alicia Keys video, for some reason, really concerned me. It made me think, if they can alter history over something as unimportant as a singing note.
Well, the crazy part is eventually someone's gonna be like, remember when Alicia Keys missed that note?
No, she didn't.
And they're like, yeah, no, she didn't. Oh, cancel this guy. This guy's spreading misinformation.
Why are you lying about Alicia Keys? Then he'll get a lawsuit, a defamation lawsuit, and he'll end up paying a bunch of money. And he'll say, but I know she sung it wrong. And they say, well, we've looked up the note. It's perfect.
Yeah, they will gaslight you.
I'll give you an example. I guarantee if you look up the COVID pandemic on Wikipedia, it sounds terrifying. This amount of people died. This many people were locked in their house. You had to get the vaccine. You needed 8 of them, or you were susceptible to a winter of severe illness and death. This many people in this country died. You couldn't travel. You couldn't fly. Borders were locked. People couldn't go to funerals. You couldn't see your grandma. You were stuck in your house. We had to do, like, you'd look it up in 100 years from now and go, whoa, that was scary. And what was the reality? The reality was I was walking around with no mask on, telling everyone to get fucked, and it was fine. They've altered history. They've literally altered history. The version of history you're going to read, it was nothing like the actual event. So we live in a post-truth world.
Yeah.
Like, it's besides your own eyes, what can you trust? And that's what's even scary, because there's a huge contingent of the population who don't believe their own eyes.
Yeah.
They'll sit there and look at a man and go, that's a girl, because they're told to.
On that note, I think that's it.
Thank you,
dude. This is amazing. Top G is, I believe you.
And
that's really what I think my conclusion is that I think you're genuine. I think you're honest. Although some people may not agree with everything. Again, we don't think anyone should agree with everything anyone says anyway. But I believe that you believe what you're saying, and that some of it is just nuance.
And I respect that. That means a lot to me.
Andrew Tate, thank you. Appreciate you, my friend.
Thanks, bro.
And We'll see you guys next time. Thank you, everybody.